Welcome back. Former President Trump and Vice President Harris are stepping up their focus on dueling economic plans. In Savannah, Georgia yesterday, Trump announced tax breaks for companies that manufacture in America and hire American workers. And he said that he would appoint a manufacturing ambassador. He also slammed Harris's tax policies. Watch.
She's called the tax queen. They love her in other countries because she forces everybody out of our country into their hands. The tax queen is demanding a 33% tax hike on all domestic productions. The centerpiece of my plan is for a manufacturing renaissance, which will be a 15% made in America tax rate. But now we're cutting the business tax from 21% to 15%, which makes us the most competitive tax anywhere on the planet, but only for those who make their product in the USA. See, that's an incentive. People are going to be pouring in, companies are going to be pouring in, and we're going to continue with the regulatory cuts.
Kamala Harris is set to deliver an economic speech later today in Pittsburgh. She is reportedly expected to announce new policy proposals aimed at boosting domestic manufacturing. Joining me now is Cardone Capital and Cardone Training Technology CEO Grant Cardone. He's also a private equity fund manager and a real estate investor. Grant, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good to see you, Maria.
I want to get your reaction to Trump and Harris's economic plans. Talk to us about the growth policies needed in business to actually achieve growth, and what do you see from these two policies?
Well, it's very sluggish in America right now. We've probably been in recession for a good 9 months, maybe longer than that, had they not redefined recessions and included the unemployment numbers, which are very deceptive. Manufacturing in this country, we should not be second in this world. We should be number one in manufacturing. We should reduce taxes corporately and make us number one in that category as well. And we can attract more big, large companies back into this country to manufacture, to become more competitive. The tariff on other countries where we're exporting for is not a tax on consumer goods. It's not a tax to me as an individual buying toys from China. If I don't want to pay another 200% for the toy, I'll quit buying it. We will figure out how to manufacture it cheaper here in America, make America the most dominant country on the planet Earth, the wealthiest country. Why should we have higher corporate taxes here than other places in the world? This would stop people from going to the Irelands and the Caymans and et cetera in order to produce and manufacture products.
Well, that's not what Kamala Harris is talking about. She wants to take the corporate tax rate up to 28%. Of course, you heard Trump's plans in trying to incentivize companies to do business here. And if you do so, and it's made in the U.S., you'll have a 15% corporate tax rate. Give us your sense of the corporate tax rate and what kind of an impact that has on businesses and their intentions to hire and invest in growth.
Well, Maria, Kamala Harris is either financially illiterate, incompetent, or she believes that her voters are. Her plans come up every week as something new, the $25,000 tax credit, the capital gains tax. She's making things up right now in order to gain some traction. I think that's why she wants that debate, because she's losing the globe. And her economic policies are not economic policies. They're random, made up. Let's do this week. She's tracking Trump, trying to follow what he's doing. We are a sluggish country. We are not growing today. We are not dominating. I just finished a 5-country tour where, like I was in the UAE. They are booming over there. People are wanting to come into that country and work with a great attitude, by the way. They want to work. They want to do business. The country actually envelops people, welcomes them and says, let's do business here. How can we do business with you and Cardone Capital here in the UAE? That's not happening in our country, and we need to become a dominant force, welcome people back into this country to do great business.